On my bookshelf with my journals, I have a section here with journals that are not completed. And today I want to do something with this traveler's notebook here that I have been neglecting for a really long time. I have not worked in this journal for about 2 years, but whether I keep working in it or not, it definitely needs a makeover. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. And if you're wondering about this jewelry I have around my traveler's notebook, I made this following a course by Robin Dudley House, and I will link that for you below in case you want to learn how to make these. I think they are super cute and fun. It's one long strand. It just wraps around the whole thing. It's quite long. You can obviously make them as long as you want to. And I just lost my key. Okay, I will have to reattach that. But I love it, especially because it has these cute bells on it. And I just love the sound. And I got this cute charm from my sweet friend Bea, and I love having it there. It makes the whole chain very, very special. So let me show you the situation I have here. It's not a good one. So I have this TN cover, and these two journals are just laying in here because I thought when this one is done, I will bind it. And I keep using the same cover. So let's move that aside. I've already made a new one for when this is finished, and I have a video on how I made this cover here. There's a tag inside here, so I will link that video for you below as well. Inside I just have a mixture of different kind of papers, so I haven't done anything in here, nor am I sure that this is a journal that inspires me to work in. So I'll put this one aside. So this is the journal. As you can see, it's super bulky. Let me give you a quick flip through. I probably also have a video on the cover here. So it's just a piece of cardstock. It's Tim Holtz paper. I really like this pocket, and I put this strip of washi tapes in here in the hope that I would use washi tapes more. I think I used them a little bit in here, but definitely not as much as I was hoping. Here it says February 11, 2021. I think I did most of these spreads 2 years ago. And when I look at this collage today, I know it's something I would not make today. I still like this envelope made out of vellum, on which I printed one of my digitals, which was a master board. These are Happy Mail items. That just clips on with a paper clip. Super simple collage. I still really like that one. One of my bird printables. So that's cute as well. This is just a book page. Happy to leave that as it is. I made a belly band here. This also must have been a Happy Mail item. It doesn't look like something I made. And inside here is a cute envelope, which also must have been Happy Mail. And inside I have these, which are from a book that I had. Still like this collage. This image is also from one of my printables. And we have a collage with a bunny using, I think, a lot of items from the Your Creative Studio boxes. This is another printable from my shop. I really like this collage still. And we have a vellum tuck spot here with a Happy Mail letter. Oh, this I remember I made following a tutorial by Joey DeFee. It's really cute with the heart that you can open. So if you're looking for anything from these pages, I think I've done pretty much all of them on video. You can find those in my Junk Journal with Me playlist. I will link that playlist for you below so you can look for these videos if you're interested in any of these pages. This is a collage I also still like. This was from a writing set which I coffee dyed. Yeah, so here's the first like empty page. Oh yeah, this I remember, that was a video. I still really like that. I do love this detail here, this tiny butterfly with the cheesecloth underneath. That makes me happy. I'd be happy to leave this book page as it is, as well as this one. Oh yeah, remember, this was another video. Still like that. It's quite bulky. This is papyrus from Egypt. Yeah, and I think I made this after a vacation there and I journaled about it. Yeah, October 2021. This is a little cluster I made and a tag. So this is the middle of the signature. So as you saw, there's only one signature. This is one of my original bird sketches. I really like this collage still. A belly band using a snippet roll and a cluster. And this is a tag I think I made in one of the challenges given to me by my friend Sharika. I think this was the 50 tags challenge. It's just a book page, another simple collage, still like that. Empty, empty, empty. Another very simple collage. Oh yeah, I remember this was a really fun video. Empty, empty. This I still like. That's also very, very bulky. Another cute spring collage. Empty, empty. And back here I have a tag which was from a 5 items swap with Louisa Heinzel. Yep, journaled about it on the back, July 2021. And when I see this quote here, which says, I have everything I need within myself, I think that's a great quote. And I think I should have a quote saying, I have everything I need in my craft room. To remind me not to buy all the things, you know what I mean? So what do I do with this? This is not a situation I'm happy with. I don't know yet whether I want to continue working in this. You know, after 2 years, it's kind of strange. My style would probably be a little bit different. And I'm flipping through this, trying to get a feeling for this journal. Does it still speak to me? But I think I need to divide this in several signatures. So let's put the cover aside for now. I also don't like how this has totally curved because this is so bulky. So let's see what we can do with that. Nope, not with the cover, with this. So I'm going to rearrange these into probably 3 signatures. Let me count how many pages I have. So it's just 12 pages. So that would be easy to divide into 3. So every signature would have 4 pages. But actually you can't really divide it like that because it all depends on how chunky each signature is. So let's see what happens if I just took 4 pages and put them each in the signature. Let's see if these signatures would, by coincidence, be pretty much the same thickness. Okay, so that's 3 signatures. And I can see this one is a lot thicker. And also what I don't like is that these 2 are much smaller than this one. So I think I would rather mix the pages up. And I need to decide which one I want on the front. I think I'll go with this one. This is actually, I think, pretty much the bulkiest. So I'll use that as the first page of my first signature. Let me take it all apart. So I think it makes sense to pick out the bulkiest pages so that I have one of those in each signature. So this is a really bulky one. We have this one here. And what else is really bulky? This one here is really bulky. Oh, that's 2 pages. That's why it's bulky. Actually, this one here is the bulkiest because of this envelope. Okay, so these need to go in separate signatures. And now I just need to divide up the rest. Let's put this one here. Okay, so I have 4 pages in each signature now. This will be my first one. That is a lot better in my opinion. Of course, now this cover isn't going to work anymore. So let's show this cover some love and make it work for this journal. So let's take the signatures out. I'll start off by cutting this in half. And I went through my supplies and I found this beautiful vintage file folder. And I think this would make a really nice cover, and it works so well with the colors I have here. So I will add one to the front, one to the back. So let's take these off. Let's see how well we glued these. Okay, I can re-glue that on the new inside cover. And this is still intact. And with this one, I think I can also just take that off. Let's take a letter opener. So I need to figure out how wide my spine needs to be. So let's put this in here. You see it has these score lines here already, so that's going to be perfect. I can put this in the middle and then see at which score line I need to fold it. So it looks like the second one from the outside is the right one. So I'll make a crease there. And then I'll do the same thing from the other side. I'll use the help of my little vintage iron. Looks like that's going to work. So now I need to figure out the height. So I'll just make it a tiny bit taller than my tallest page. Okay, and now I just need to figure out the width. So I'll bend it here where the front crease is, and then I can figure out where to cut it. So now we should have a cover that wraps around our signatures easily. Yep, it does. But you see we have this crease here in the spine. So let's strengthen that to get rid of the crease. And since I still have this left over, I'm going to cut this piece, and it's already the right height. So I'll just cut 2 strips from this. So I have my strips, and what I'll do is I'll put one on the inside. So I'll glue that one down now. Good thing is it's also the same color since I used the same material. Let's think of what we're going to do on the inside. So I wanted to reattach these, but maybe we can do something else with the inside as well. Since I want to stick to the style it was in originally, and on the back side I had this, I'm going to use this one, which is the back side of this one here. I believe this is from the Tim Holtz Memoranda paper stash. So I'll cut 2 panels, which will then just go on the inside. And actually I'm fine leaving a little bit of space so that we see the border. So I have my panels. I have inked up the edges with walnut stain, and now I can just glue them onto the covers. This would also be very pretty. Let's see which side would look better with this pocket before I do that. I like this. I also like this. I actually like this one better. Yep, so I'll ink up those edges as well, and then we can stick that down. And these panels will, of course, also help strengthen the cover. Don't you just love the feeling of using things you've had in your stash for years? I always feel very proud of using those. So now we can adhere these again. I still don't like this green, Louisa. Louisa sent me this feather because she knew I didn't like the green. Before I adhere the front covers, I want to ink around those as well. Let's do the back one first. And then let's add the front. My initial thought was to sew in the signatures first and then put this piece here over it to cover the stitches, but I don't think that's going to look nice because we'll see the bumps underneath because this isn't so sturdy. By the way, I've inked around this with walnut stain as well. So I think I'll just glue this on. That will cover the crease here, make it more sturdy, and stitch through all 3 layers, and then I can still decide whether I want to add maybe some fabric or some lace. I just found this here in my stash. It's a piece of a tablecloth that I have dyed, I think with forest moss mostly. And the width is pretty much the same width of the spine. But again, I think it might look strange if I glue it on top of the stitching, because again, you'll see those through, which I think will just look weird. So I'm going to glue this on first, and then I'll just do the stitching right through, and then we'll see the stitching on the outside, which I'm totally okay with. So I'll leave a bit extra on top, and then I'll cut the bottom here. Also leave a little bit extra. Then I'll fray the bottom a little bit. And then I'll use my textile glue to glue it on. I'll just use my finger to smooth that out. That way I don't have to wash a brush. Once that has dried, I can finally sew in my signatures. I'm going to use the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, very easy. So I'll find the middle of my spine. And then I'll go 1 centimeter to the right and to the left for the other 2 signatures. Again, find my middle. And then I'll measure an equal distance from the middle for my other 2 holes. Let's do 7 centimeters. No particular reason. I'll take my awl and this piece of foam to make my holes. Then I'll erase all of my pencil lines. I've put my signatures together with paper clips. I usually just put it on one side because I feel that if I put paper clips on both sides, somehow it just doesn't work well with the fold in the middle. I think this is much easier. And then instead of making a template, I'm just going to do it the easy way because I'm not worried about this being super exact, and I'll just hold my signature here, make sure it's centered, and then I see where my holes are and I'll just make the holes accordingly in my signature. Making sure I'm not moving it in between poking the holes. And I'll do the same for all 3 signatures. I chose this green thread because I think that will look nice here on the cover. And then I'll just sew my signatures in using the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And I'll take 2.5 lengths of this cover for the thread length. All right, let's have a look. This is what it looks like from the top, the front, and the bottom. So much better. The pages lay more flat. Let's add our ephemera back in here. I feel so much better about this journal. I feel now it got the proper love that it deserves. Who knows, maybe I will now be inspired to work in it a little bit more to finish some of these pages. But I'm also okay just leaving it as it is. I have freed up my TN cover. For now, I'm just going to add this one inside. And I'll wrap my beautiful journal jewelry around it again. And now they can both go back onto my shelf. And I no longer feel guilty. Maybe you have some journals that need a little more love. Hope this was inspiring. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.
I said the last drink was the last drink. You make it hard to leave. We're telling secrets in the dark while drinking whiskey.